Is it time to plant your summer garden yet? And here, May 16th, 2026, I'm going to say not yet. Because what I do is I look to nature, and I've, over the years, over 30 years of observation, identified 3 species. First one is wild rose. You can see here's one almost open. And the second one is oxeye daisy, not open, but budding. And the third one is California wild lilac, ceanothus, and this eventually will flower blue. When these 3 are flowering here on my site, I've never seen frost after that. Well, hello, and today you can see that it's a misty, rainy day, and we've been having an unseasonably warm spring, and it's felt really dry, and we've had temperatures in the low 80s, and that's what is in the forecast for next week. And in going to the farmer's market where I have a booth, I have opportunities to talk with a lot of people and field a lot of gardening questions. And here, in general, some people refer to our last frost date, if you live over by Ashland and Medford, Grants Pass, as Mother's Day, which happened last weekend. I always say you should wait till Memorial Day, which is coming up next weekend. And even we're up here in the mountains in the Applegate Valley, I say June 1st. But all those are arbitrary, and a date on a calendar is not, how nature works. Nature isn't clockwork like that. Nature, there's a range, a spectrum of temperature and all of that. So this morning outside it was 46 degrees here, and which is pretty cold. So, when I was at the farmer's market, I get people that ask like, oh, can I plant things yet? And I say, it's all a gamble. When the weather's like this where it's cold, you can put some corn in the ground, put some zucchini seed, cucumber seed, but I wouldn't put your peppers, eggplants, tomato plants that are hard to replace, especially if you grew them from seed. Whereas putting out some zucchini seed that doesn't come up, you can just replant. So one of the things I've learned over time, I've kept a nature journal for 30 years of rainfall, temperature, weather events, that kind of thing, is looking for plants in my environment. I'm here at the top of our main field, and here's a wild rose. So wild rose looks like this. They just have these small little 5-petal flowers, not elaborate. And I've correlated 3 different plants. And I have noticed that we've never had frost in the spring once all 3 of these are flowering. And they're all wild plants. They're not cultivated plants. So what that teaches us is they've learned how to grow here over time. So there's an intelligence to nature that it's not going to, hit the go button and flower and flourish until it's safe to do so. So the other ones, and this one is still closed. This is oxeye daisy. And it grows in little clumps all around northern latitudes, all around the world. And it makes a daisy with white petals and a yellow center. We'll put a picture of a flowering one in there. And then this last one is a native plant, and it's called California wild lilac. And you can see those buds are still closed up tight. And this was flowering, not yet flowering, growing just about 100 yards from here. And so when these flower, the other name for this is ceanothus integrimus, is kind of these pale blue bottle brush type flowers. And when all 3 of these are flowering, it's go time. So right now for myself, I'm getting all my beds ready, spreading compost, tilling, and really trying to germinate weeds, which this misty rain is perfect. And so then I can retill right before I plant and cycle out a flush of weeds. But what we see when I look at my 3 indicator species is it's not yet time. It might be in a week or 10 days or 2 weeks, but I'm in a holding pattern. I've planted a little bit of sweet corn and a little bit of green beans, direct seed, just for my home use, but I'm not doing any commercial quantities yet. And I'd encourage you to look on your landscape and see if these 3 are growing, and then you can use them as indicators. Otherwise, find similar examples like that. Another one I noticed here is our elderberry are all flowering. But they're flowering now, which shows me that's not a good indicator because it's too early compared to my other ones. So look in your environment and learn from nature, and learn the same with the way the animals and the birds and the insects all do that. Like I've just started to see butterflies here, but I'm not seeing the clouds of butterflies that we probably will in 10 days once we have some temperatures in the 80s. So even though it may not frost from here on out, if you were to put out things in cooler temperatures, like I've been leaving my greenhouse open because it's been warmer, and last night I closed it because it was cold, and all those plants want to feel more protected. So plants may not freeze, but they can get stunted, like peppers and other solanaceous plants will get stunted in temperatures below 45 degrees, which there are certain spots on my farm where last night where that happened, May 16th here, which feels pretty late. Some people and further south are totally planting. So if you want to ensure success, then you want to optimize the growing conditions for these plants, especially when you consider that corn, beans, squash, tomatoes, they're all from Mexico. This is not the weather in Mexico right here. So that's why we grow things in a greenhouse until it's time, because we're trying to create Mexico or a similar warm, sheltered climate. So hopefully that's helpful for you, because we want your seeds and your starts to thrive and flourish. So look to nature for the clues of when it is the appropriate time to plant them. Happy growing.